Hi guys, Ideas of Ice and Fire here. For the first time ever, I'm going to be doing a Q&A on Game of Thrones on my channel, which, by the way, if you didn't know, is primarily a Song of Ice and Fire theories. My primary thing is not Game of Thrones, but I'll get to that later, actually. There's a question about that. So first question, do you think Euron actually wanted to kill Theon and Yara? My answer to that is absolutely yes. He wanted to kill Theon and Yara. Why would he not? Clearly, they could really mess things up for him. So he really wants him to get out of the way. And also, that guy that was standing beside him. This is from the books. In the books, that character, he's a prophet. He's called the Damphair, and he's also Euron's brother, and he's also Balon's brother. And there's also another brother involved called Tyrion, and Damphair would not be okay with Euron just being like, oh yeah, I killed Balon, let's go kill Yara and Theon too, because kinslaying is a huge deal pretty much everywhere. So, I don't know. That's established in the show too. That's just not something that's different from the books. I don't know why they're making light of kinslaying. So much kinslaying this season, and just everyone's just okay with it. It's just weird to me. I don't know. Could the prince that was promised maybe be the child of Jon and Daenerys? See, that's a thought that I had as well, but I'm wondering how much time exactly do they have? I mean, they'd have to have a baby, and then the baby would have to grow up into a man, and then they'd have to fight the White Walkers. I mean, the threat seems pretty immediate to me. I don't know if they have enough time to get to that, but I think that's a cool, interesting idea, one that I have thought of before, but I don't think that's the case in the show or in the books, really, because I don't think they have enough time. I simply don't think that there's enough time for a baby to be born and grow up to fight the White Walkers. In your video, you said that the White Walkers came in a time of peace. How do you know the history is accurate considering it happened thousands of years ago? Okay, well, a lot of this is laid out pretty clearly in the World of Ice and Fire, and I know the World of Ice and Fire is written by maesters, men. They get stuff wrong, but what you have to understand is that these events are separated by thousands and thousands of years. So we can pretty much, they can pretty much point out which era it came from. Like, you're not going to switch up a huge thousands of years of history. No, we know when the Andal invasion happened because it's pretty much well documented. We know all the names of their kings and everything. So we know when that happened, and we know that that was after the others came. So that couldn't have happened before, all right? The children, the only time frame that fits is that the children created the White Walkers right at the end of the Age of Heroes, or that perhaps the children created the White Walkers before the Age of Heroes, except something happened and maybe they had to wait 2,000 years for them to brew or something. I don't know, but we don't know. We have to learn more from the books, and we have to learn more from the show to get the full answer and figure out how exactly it's going to be book to show, because we don't really know yet. It's probably going to be a bit different book to show, which is fine. It doesn't really affect the entire scheme of things completely, because they haven't really explored the backstory as much in this show, I guess. Not in the actual show lore. I mean, I get that there are the bonus stuff on the Blu-rays, but come on. Look, if you can't tell the whole story in the actual medium, then that's not part of it to me. All right? Just that, the rest of that can just go away. Because if you can't tell the whole story in the actual medium, then you're not doing it right. It's like at the end of the newer episode, I didn't really get the Hodor thing, and it wasn't really too obvious from watching the show. So the fact that I have to go and watch another video and have them explain to me that all this information was downloaded in the Bran's brain when it's not clear at all in the show, we shouldn't have to do that. It should be clear enough in the show that we should just get it. I mean, they're writing "Kill the Masters" on the wall in Marine in English, but they can't simplify this, which is way more important than that, and make it understandable. I don't get that. I really don't. But, you know. Okay, next question. Why are all the children of the forest female? Is that in the books? I only read the first book, so I'm not sure. Alright, that is a very good question. Why are the children of the forest all female in the show? I don't think this is the case in the books. They're very mysterious in the books, but I'm pretty sure there are males as well. I could be wrong. But anyways, let's just talk about the show anyways. This show, this season, has had some... I've noticed this. It has some themes of femininity overcoming masculinity. In the very first episode, the Dorne scene, which was awful. Was that the first episode? That was either the first or second. I don't remember. I kind of shielded it and blocked it from my mind. But, they try to have, Ilaria and the Sand Snakes take over Dorne. And, the females conquer the men. And then also with Dany, she kills all the cows. And she conquers the men with fire and feminism and rebirth. And she's naked in the fire. And she says, all of you are weak. And then now you have the Children of the Forest who literally say they created the White Walkers to fight men. It's like, who? You. Men. All right, so maybe there is something to that. Why don't we see any male Children of the Forest? Now that makes me go off on like a whole other tangent. Like, did the Children of the Forest, were they just trying to create mates or something? Is that what's going on? Were they trying to create men that they could mate with, but it just went crazy and got out of hand and they ended up creating a monster? I don't know. I do know in the books, it does imply that they have trouble reproducing. It says that the gods gave us long numbers, the gods gave us long years, but not many numbers. So perhaps them being portrayed as all female does mean something. It could. Why do you mention the books so much in your Game of Thrones reviews? All right, I got this question so much on the last video, the last review that I did for Game of Thrones. Honestly, I've been reading this book series for years now. I should be allowed to say, oh, well, I was disappointed by this scene because it wasn't as good as I thought it was from the books when I've been waiting for years to see the scene. I should be allowed to say that, on my own freaking YouTube channel. And it's like people get so pissed if I even mention the books like once. It's like, oh my God, the books and the show are different entities. How dare you? And I'm like, oh, dude, like, look, my channel is Ideas of Ice and Fire. Look, primarily I do A Song of Ice and Fire theory videos, which take days to weeks of research and editing to do. And I do these reviews on the side, really, just as a little thing for my subscribers that want to watch that, But, and of course, I'm not going to put as much effort into the episode review because that's not my thing. I love A Song of Ice and Fire, and I really love Game of Thrones too, but A Song of Ice and Fire is my passion. So when I'm reviewing the episode, it's not like I can just forget all the information in my head from A Song of Ice and Fire. What do you want me to do? Ignore my thoughts, ignore my own feelings and emotions when I see something that I was looking forward to for all these years in the book, and I see how different it is. Of course I'm going to be disappointed. Do you expect me not to be disappointed and just hide it? I mean, I can't do that. I literally can't do that. I was actually trying to avoid talking about the books in the last episode because I know that every time I even mention the books, people get so pissed off and say, just review the show, don't talk about the books. So I was really just saying, oh yeah, it's different, but I still like it. And I would mention where it's different because, why not? But I wouldn't expand upon it because I say people get mad when I talk about the books too much. So I just skip over it in most cases. In most cases, when I do skip over a big chunk and I just say, oh, I'm not going to explain it, it's because it's way too fucking complicated to explain. And even when I do that, I get comments like, oh, so now you think we're too stupid to understand? You're just a book snob and you're an elitist, so you think you're better than everyone. And then I say, oh guys, you guys should totally read the book because I want people to read the books because it's one of the greatest fantasy book series ever written. It's so good. And it's not like, and even me suggesting that you read the books, it's like, oh, how dare you suggest reading? How dare you? You're a book snob and you think you're better than everyone. I just don't get it. I can't win. Like, I'm trying to please so many people and it's just impossible. I cannot win. No matter what I do, it's going to get hate. So from now on, I'm just going to put like a disclaimer at the beginning of all my episode reviews that says this will contain comparisons to the book. And just leave it at that. And if you don't like it, you can click off the video at that moment. And if that doesn't work, then I guess that's just it for the episode reviews because I'm not going to do the whole fake YouTuber thing where I'm just like, oh my God, my audience is always right and kiss their ass and kiss their feet all the time. I literally can't do that. I'm not going to pretend like I like everything in every single episode just so I can avoid people saying that I'm being super negative because I'm not being negative. It's just my opinion and I don't get why people can't handle that. Like it's literal like hate. Like people call me a fucking cunt because I mentioned the books. Like Like a few times in my video. Come on. I mean, maybe I mentioned it too much, but come on. It doesn't deserve that, dude. Chill. People chill. It's all love. Okay, next question. Are all of the children of the forest dead? Alright, it's time to shill one of my upcoming videos. I'm doing a video and it's going to be called Blood Trees, and I actually do go over this subject, but I'm going to answer this question anyways. I think that yes, they are dead, but I also believe that they still live on in some way, because there is significant evidence in the book series that when you die before a werewood tree, before the roots of a werewood tree, that you become a part of that entity. And I'll go into detail on this on my upcoming video. It's going to be the next video that I put out, Blood Trees. It's about werewood trees, and yeah, so they're dead, but I think they could possibly still live on within the werewood tree net. All right, so that's what I think. What is Sansa up to this season? Look, I was supporting Sansa before the last episode. I didn't even talk about it in the review because I was just going to bash it. I knew people were going to be like, oh my god, do you even like the show? Why are you bitching so much? But the Sansa shit was so fucking stupid. Like, how dumb do you have to be, Sansa? Clearly, Littlefinger is setting you up. You're such an idiot. You haven't learned anything. You haven't learned anything, Sansa. Oh my god. You're just so annoying. Like, everything you do is annoying, Sansa. Like, just chill. Like, Brienne should, oh my, I actually thought that Sansa was going to be Lady Stoneheart, but it looks like she's just going to get everybody killed. Like, I don't know. I don't know what she's doing. I don't know. My guess is as good as yours. What is this stupid little girl doing? I don't know. Ugh, the Sansa story is just, got me running around in circles. I don't know. Okay, last question I have right now. Do you think Bloodraven is Bran? Oh my god, this is such an interesting question. Because this is something that could very well be different book to show, but I don't see how exactly it could be. But they'd have to really rework around some stuff. So I'm going to talk about the books a lot right here. Hope no one gets upset about me talking about the books in a Game of Thrones Q&A. Hope no one gets pissed off that I'm referencing the source material that the fucking book TV shows are based off of. So, okay. In the books, we know that Bloodraven is not Bran. He can't be. He is a Targaryen bastard named Brynden Rivers who lived over 100 years ago. He served as Hand of the King for a few of Daenerys' ancestors, actually. Most notably, Aegon V, the Just King Aegon V. He was banished to the Wall in some year, 233 AC, I believe it was, and he disappeared. After 13 years of being Lord, after 7 years, excuse me, of being Lord Commander, he disappears beyond the Wall, and he's never seen or heard from again. And then Bran finds him in the cave, and it's like, hey, I'm Brynden Rivers, you know, that was my name when I was fast. So we know that he's a Targaryen bastard from back in the day that did all types of sorcery even when he was young. I actually have a video about Bloodraven's prison. Some of the stuff in this episode doesn't really align with it in the newer episode. With that video, some of the stuff in that video I think has been kind of debunked. But anyways, when I do videos like that, it's almost completely book canon. I don't really focus on anything from the show. So if you're not really interested in what happens in the books, then that video is probably not the video for you. But yeah, I don't think he is Bran in the books, all right? But in the show, he could be. I mean, it looks like they could be setting that up with Bran affecting the past. Bran could be a lot of people. Bran could be Bran the Builder. Bran could be, you know, Bran the Builder is a guy that shows up all throughout history, and he built all this stuff. He built Storm's End. He built Winterfell. He built the Wall. He's credited with all this stuff. And you think throughout the books, how can one person do all this? And maybe it was really Bran just going through time and changing stuff. But is there really any evidence that he could physically go back in time the way Bloodraven did? I don't think so. I think that in the show, Bloodraven is probably still, I don't know if he's Brynden Rivers in the show because they never say that. So maybe he's just some guy. Maybe they're just not going to explain it. They're just going to leave it and just say, go read the books, I guess. I don't know. But that's it for this Q&A. Thank you guys for watching. Make sure you like and subscribe for more theory videos and more ideas of Ice and Fire and the occasional episode review every Sunday. We got 5 more of those to go, and then a final entire season review. So get ready for that, and thanks for watching.